Hey guys, welcome to Get It Done Publishing, where we talk about books, business, and branding for writers. I am your host, Ashley M. King, and in today's video, we're going to talk about series Bible. What is it and why you should have one as an author? This topic came out because I was actually helping someone that was shopping for a ghostwriter. She actually had someone write her first book, and she was looking for a ghostwriter for the second book. I guess things didn't work out, whatever reason. She was shopping around for another ghostwriter. So in reviewing, the context that she sent me for what she had, I was curious to know if she had a series Bible, right? And I say the term Bible, but it isn't like, I guess the King James Bible. It's just like series notes. It's notes for your book, whether it's like the characters, the land, the time, etc. We'll go into that a little bit more. But I was asking her, did she have one? And she did not. And I was explaining how this is important, or why this is important, that if you are using a ghostwriter, someone else to write your book, and if you are having a series of books, you need to have a series Bible. This is like the cliff notes to your book. So if she decides to use me to become her ghostwriter, instead of me having to read all of book one, I can look at these abbreviated notes, the series Bible, and to know the history of her characters, the land, the time frame, all what's going on. And it's important that if you are hiring someone else to write your book, that you have this, because if you do not, you are leaving it up to them entirely to make up this entire story. And you may have certain quirks or different things you want your characters to do. And also, if you are writing a series, it can be a lot, especially if you are world building, like in fantasy, the epic novels. You definitely want a series Bible to keep up of what's going on. And so I'm just going to kind of recap of the things that you should have within your series Bible. So like I said, you definitely want to keep track of your characters, like their name, if they have a nickname, their backstory. Why do they act the way that they act? Like, how were they raised? Excuse me. The schooling that they have. Why do they talk the way that they talk? This is very important. To be as detailed as possible, because it's what makes the character human. We as individuals, we are very unique. You know what I'm saying? We have different layers. And just to say, oh, my character, African American female, late 20s, and she's from the South, doesn't, really help out. But, African American female, late 20s, was raised by a single mom that had her at 14. Her name is Soiree, but it's spelled like soiree. And so she really get agitated by people mispronouncing her name, because her uneducated mother, had her at 14, saw the name Soiree, but really didn't know what it meant and how to properly pronounce it. So she called her Soiree, but it was spelled differently. And so now she hates, her name. She works in corporate America. And so she changed her name to her middle name, or she goes by her middle name, which is like Angelica, which works for her. But then she feels bad at time when she's, around her peers, because she feels like she's, kind of lost her identity and has to play the role when she's at work and in other professional settings. So now she has some kind of identity conflict. Her relationship with her father is estranged. But then he comes into the picture later on when he's on his deathbed. Okay, just kind of making it up as I go. But you see how detailed that is, and how some of that information is key to passing on to another ghostwriter, or to a ghostwriter, so that they can keep the character, the history, the characteristics, the traits, you know, the nuances and different things of your character, right? You want to talk about the setting and location, right? The time frame, 1900s, 1800s, you know, current day, the town, the city. If there's like a particular restaurant, right? If you've seen the show Friends, you all know that they go to a particular cafe, right? So that is pretty much every episode deals with the cafe. So you know that is a particular or a special I guess location or setting that you should include within your series Bible, because the cafe was in pretty much every episode, right? Talk about the clothing, like if your particular character history, you know, they're uneducated. I really hate to say uneducated, but anyway, uneducated, perhaps in, you know, the Midwest, and they're farmers, then, you know, their particular wardrobe may just be overalls every day, because that's pretty much the setting of the uniform. Like this particular character has about 12 different overalls, pretty much within the same, they're all jean, different ranges of, you know, light jean to dark jean, but they're pretty much the same. That's what he wears, with boots, a straw hat, and a toothpick. That's pretty much his uniform that he wears, his clothing. If it's like a sci-fi, is there particular like technology that they have? And of course, if it's a fictional book, it can be made up technology, but this is like Superman, kryptonite, right? This is stuff that you want to include so that, you know, you're able to follow along as you build your world. What does kryptonite do? Why is it Superman's weakness? Talk about the different technology, right? Back in the day, please don't beat me up if I get this wrong, Star Trek, right? They were able to beam me up, Scotty. Yes, Star Trek was Beam Me Up, Scotty. Okay. Please do not beat me up if I get that wrong. So, different, you want to talk about that. And Star Trek was like 1990, I don't know. That's not my thing, but I did watch a few episodes, right? So Star Trek, you know, Beam Me Up, Scotty was, I think, pretty far advanced for its time. So that's an example of technology and how it's advanced. And then of course, if you're world building, like Avatar, that is a huge, like, I haven't seen number 2, but I kind of vaguely remember number 1. Like, I know that it was very touching. It was very long as well, but it was touching because I'm like, oh, I do remember, you know, I have some nostalgia feelings about it, and I do want to see number 2. But world building, think about if that was Avatar, what's another word? I can't think. Princess Leia? What's that movie? Please. Star Wars, right? I'm just gonna leave sci-fi alone. It comes to mind because those are different layers that are in there, but I'm probably getting all wrong. And I know that those particular Star Trek, Star Wars, all those sci-fi, you guys are die-hard fans, and I don't want to get beat up by anybody. But when you are building a world, that is some crucial information that you want to include. All the different nuances, you know, that's in there to make the world that it is. And that's kind of it, you know, especially if that was book number 1 and you're working on number 2. Now, when you start getting in 3 and 4, you may want to kind of recap, you know, put these together and kind of recap everything. So there are actually authors or people I know that sell their series Bible because, you know, if they have a diehard fan club, and, you know, people are really in love with a lot of this, they want that Bible to be able to keep track of things, to make sure that they didn't miss anything. And so that's an additional stream of income for you. But nonetheless, it's very important that you have a series Bible or series notes, so that when you are building these characters, these worlds, things are not lost. And if you are hiring a ghostwriter, that they are aware of what you are looking for, right? And so that's just the information that I have. Please make sure you like, subscribe, comment below to let me know, what is your takeaway from this? What would you love to hear more of? Please let me know. And I thank you all so much for tuning in, and you just have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the other side as a published author.